I've been defending criminal cases for over 30 years. My name's John Guidry. I've got 6 things that you need to request of your public defender or your private attorney if you have a criminal case here in Florida. There are more things you'll need to ask, but these are the top 6 things you need to think about. The first thing is pretty basic, but it's so important. You need to ask for a review of the evidence. Now, I know some people are like, oh, I want to ask for the discovery and the police reports. What good is that going to do you if your attorney isn't going to go over that stuff with you? No, that's going to come in stages, right? Because it can take us months to get some of the body cam footage and all that. But please, folks, request a review of the evidence. That is so important later down the road. Number 2, my second request is similar. I want you to ask your attorney for a full explanation of the charges and the penalties. Because I think people come into a criminal case and a lot of you haven't been in trouble before, and it's like, I could do probation, I could do jail, I could do prison. Oh, I get that. Some of you, depending on the case, you'll have a mandatory ankle bracelet. Some of you will have mandatory no internet usage, and that might mean you can't work. Some of you, you're gonna have a mandatory driver's license suspension. You're gonna be like, I need to drive for work. My attorney didn't tell me that these charges come with license suspensions. I mean something beyond DUI. Other things come with license suspensions, not just DUIs, and you need to know that. So I want you to request a review of the charges inside and out and the penalties inside and out, okay? The third request is a bit more personal, but every attorney is different, and you need to request of your attorney what is the best way that we are going to communicate together. Because I can tell you, some people will not want to talk to you over the phone. That does not mean that they don't want to communicate. For me, my best level of communication is text message. And I like email and text message because it's all in writing. Nobody needs to say, well, you told me this. It's right here. I told you that and you told me this. So my third favorite is probably phone. But I know some attorneys that don't text at all. I'm flabbergasted. Like, what year are we in? Everybody needs to text, right? Well, some don't. That's their thing. I like text. You need to find this out. You need to request that up front, because the last thing you need to do is come to the middle of your case and realize that you have not been communicating very well because you've been leaving voicemails to an attorney that doesn't answer voicemails. I worked at the public defender's office back in 1993, and we did have voicemail back then. We had several attorneys that absolutely, as a public defender, never listened to their voicemails, deleted them all, or some of them on purpose had their voicemail full so that you couldn't leave a voicemail. Well, if you know that in advance, then you can text and you can email. Don't bother. Don't waste your breath for an attorney that doesn't communicate in that way. You need to know that. Your fourth request of your attorney is kind of similar to my first request, which is review the evidence. But my fourth request is you need to ask for a strategy session. You need to know from your attorney what is the strategy. And I can tell you, every case has a unique strategy and they're all so different. And sometimes it changes. Recently, I had a second time DUI with a second refusal, which is also a crime. We thought we had a certain strategy going. We got some of the body cam footage, and I called my client. I go, our strategy has shifted. Our new motions are going to be XYZ. We took those motions to court based on what I was seeing from the evidence. The judge threw everything out. Well, the state dropped the charges after the judge granted our motions. The second DUI, the refusal crime, all of it thrown out, and our strategy had shifted, and that's okay. Strategies are not like locked in stone. As the evidence comes in, we can change. Now, sometimes we are gonna know a little bit of strategy up front. I had a sex case several years ago where we knew this judge. Now, I mean, not knew this judge like we were golfing with this guy, but we knew this judge by reputation in terms of this judge, I don't care how good your case is legally, will not throw out a icky type of charge, right? That's been in the newspaper and all that. Our strategy was simple. We filed all the motions that we knew we needed to file. We knew this judge would deny every single one of them, regardless of the fact that he should have granted some. And we told our client up front, we are going to win your case on appeal because this judge will not grant these motions, but you do have good motions. That's exactly what we did. We lost the motions. We knew we would. We entered a plea reserving the right to appeal, and we won the appeal, and everything worked out. took some time to work out and it sucks, but that was the strategy. It was a very long view strategy. You must request a strategy session with your attorney. Don't overlook that. It's very important for you to know what your attorney's approach is, okay? Number 5, and I know this is pretty basic, but it's important. I want you to request any plea negotiations or what have you from your attorney, because I report the plea offers to my clients immediately, and that can be a rough conversation because I am not in control of what the government wants to offer you, right? And I am legally required through my bar membership, ethically required to convey the plea offer, as bad as that plea offer may seem, as bad as the whole thing may go on the plea side of it. We have to tell you that. Please ask your attorney for that session where you're going to go over where are we on the plea negotiations. That's my 5th request. And the 6th request is I want you to ask for any preparations in terms of going to court, going to a motion hearing, going to trial, all these things. You need to request everything I've said your attorney should probably be doing for you instantaneously. But I'm making this video because a lot of times it's just not that way, and I want you to request these things. And it might be as simple as what you're going to wear to that court date, because I can tell you some judges, like Judge Rex Seidler in Seminole County and several other judges, Barbara Leash here in the circuit court in Orange County, they really appreciate when you dress up for court. And I would make an extra effort in front of some of those judges to get on the suit and tie that I would not put on a suit and tie for some other judges that could care less. Believe it or not, that is part of the preparation. And you want to ask your attorney that. That would be the 6th ask. So there you have it. Those are all the things that you need to ask for, and you will do just fine in your case when you do.